Hi everyone, happy Monday. I hope everyone that was celebrating Easter and Passover had a good weekend. A little bit early here. Bees Knees Wax Studio, that's a cute name. Just waiting for Mo to hop on. I'm at home today, so hence the home in the background. But Mo's gonna jump on here in a minute, and she's gonna do a gua sha demo, which is super popular, and she's gonna show us how we can use some of the simple techniques in our already existing treatments. Or she's gonna talk about her next upcoming class, which is on the 23rd, I believe. We'll get all that. Awful gray here in San Diego. Where are you guys all tuning in from?
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Good. Is it
How are
gray up in
you?
your area too?
Yeah, it's like gray, foggy, like kind of misty in the
Yeah, it
air.
is weird.
It's weird.
Sorry, I jumped on here a teeny bit quick. I was checking my background. So we're so excited today. So those of you that don't know Mo, this is Mo from Heal Thy Goddess. She's an esthetician, licensed esthetician, massage therapist, HHP. She's been in the treatment room for over 10 years. And in addition to practicing full-time, she also teaches online and in person in Solana Beach, which is in San Diego, California. And she has an upcoming online workshop coming up. Is it the 23rd?
Yes, it's the 23rd. I made it on a Sunday this time. People were commenting on like availability and such. So I tried to make it a day and time that like most people would be able to make themselves available. So it's coming up on the 23rd. And yeah, so it's really soon. It's going to be all about gua sha. I have some time for us to kind of like just chat a little bit, and then my model's
Oh,
getting here in like 15
awesome.
minutes, just
Yay.
FYI.
So what time is the class on the 23rd?
I think it's
Oh,
1 p.m., but I could be wrong. I have scheduled
oh yeah.
everything already for like the whole year. So I'm like so many dates and times like floating around in my head. But to confirm the date and time, you can just click on the link in my bio for more info
And
and
on this
to sign up.
live today,
So
Mo's going to give away a class. So that's exciting.
yeah, yeah. So around till the end. I'm going to be giving away one spot for my upcoming workshop, Gua Sha. And obviously, I feel like most people know this, but I feel like it just to like state it, it is just for professionals only. I know that so many clients are like wanting to learn how to do Gua Sha themselves at home. But for right now, I'm just focusing on teaching other
So
professionals
can
at the
you tell us a
moment.
little bit
So
about the history of this modality?
yeah, sure. So, gua sha has been around for a very long time in traditional Chinese medicine. It has been adopted for aesthetic use, I would say within like the past 10 years or so. It just really like gained its popularity. I feel like there was kind of like multiple things like in pop culture happening when like it kind of took off. But one of the things is just like the age of like the influencers, like beauty influencers, skincare influencers and stuff. Everybody just like talking about gua sha. And then also like there was an interview with like this really big supermodel for Victoria's Secret. I forgot what her name was, but the uh, reporter had basically asked like, what do you do to like get ready for like the what do they call that
Victoria's Secret
show? You
fashion
know what I'm
show?
talking about.
Oh,
The Yeah, don't they call it something else?
yeah.
Like it's
Uh,
like the big one. Okay, whatever. Um, and so anyways, long story short, she was just like, oh, like I do gua sha on my face. And like it just like took off. And then also Kourtney Kardashian's her uh franchise, I guess you
Uh-huh.
would call it. What do you,
Uh-huh.
her
Uh-huh.
brand, Boosh, Posh. She also talked about it, and that like made it blow up some more too. And then so I just feel like everybody just started hearing about Gua Sha through all of these different avenues, through like celebrities or like, you know, influencers online, through different blogs, through YouTubes and such. And so it has become a very popular modality. I learned it when I went to acupuncture school. Not a lot of people know this, but I an acupuncture school dropout. So I had gone for my first year, and then I dropped out because like I had to like focus on my health and everything. And so that's where I had learned how to do gua sha on the face. So it's unique because I have a traditional Chinese medicine background. I'm not just coming at this from like a skincare perspective. So that's why I enjoy like teaching this to other professionals, because then I'm able to like teach them more about like the history and the origin and just kind of like the theory of it. Because you know sometimes people are like, oh, it just like it depuffs or it helps with lymphatic drainage, but it's like, okay, like why does it help with lymphatic drain? Like why, you know, or why do we do the strokes in a certain movement or, you know, in a certain like pattern on the face? So that's all stuff that I'll be getting into a little bit deeper in my workshop, along with like the contraindications and such. Um, I think that's like another thing is like it's so easy to just like hop on YouTube and just type in like how to gua sha, and then maybe it's like somebody who's an esthetician, or maybe it's somebody who's like a beauty influencer and they're more into like makeup, and then like makeup kind of spills over into skincare, and then with gua sha's popularity in skincare, then they like do gua sha, but it's like they're coming from like just a girl
Yeah.
who loves shopping at Sephora, you know, so it's like what is or foundational knowledge in gua sha? Maybe they just saw like another how-to
Right.
video and they're just doing their own how-to video, you know, so it kind of like a little bit like watered down or diluted. And so like oftentimes I'll see in your group, Libby, in your Facebook group, Secrets of Estheticians, people are like, I just want to know, do you go up or down? It's so confusing
Oh,
because some people show it going up, some people show it down, you know, and so I can only empathize for like, you know, people as consumers. I feel like it's kind of confusing navigating like the whole skincare world as a consumer. And then again, like as a professional, sometimes too, it's even like confusing of like, I'm not sure like what's the right like approach here. So anyways, that's why I've, you know, chosen to like try to fill in the gaps, share my knowledge with others so that way they can administer gua sha treatments effectively to their clients, and feel like they're actually able to produce results for their clients holistically without using any like fancy creams or machines or anything like that. Because you know sometimes there's like some like traditional like medical estheticians or you know just like old school estheticians where like, oh, it's just like another fad, or like, oh, it doesn't work, or like, oh, you need to do a peel, or like, oh, you need to do microdermabrasion or blah blah blah. It's like, no, you can actually achieve skincare results via massage modalities, like with your hands or with tools
and
like
this is one
stones and
of your
such.
signature facials,
So
right?
yeah, it is. The way that I have my facial menu laid out is like I just have it by time now. I used to have this as like its own separate facial on my menu, but I found that oftentimes people were always like, I don't know like what to choose, or like what's the best facial for me, or like can I just come in and you can just like recommend it to me? And it's like, yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty much what I'm gonna do anyway. So like let's just like have it set up for like the time allotment for you. Once you come in, and we can like assess what's going to be like the best modality that's going to be fitting for your situation. So yes, this is like one of my signature techniques that I use in my facials. And so yeah, I'll be going over like a simple protocol, the whole like layout on how to do gua sha on the face, and then I'll also be going over some advanced techniques like with different shapes of tools and such, just to show everybody like how you can apply like same methods to different shapes because I think sometimes like different shape gua shas can be maybe a little bit intimidating. But again, it's like once you have like that foundational knowledge of like, okay, like we're always working, from the midline, we're working laterally, we're always trying to go up and out, then you can kind of like apply that to
Have you
any tool
found,
that
because
you're
I have
using.
found that a lot of people are turning to estheticians such as yourself for these kind of treatments instead of doing Botox. I feel like it's like getting people are, as much as it's never, Botox is never going to go away. And I get Botox, but I'm actually tired of it because it's just really stopped working on me. So can you talk a little bit about how estheticians are using this for their clients that don't want to do Botox anymore and what kind of results they're getting?
Yeah, absolutely. I was just having the same conversation with my employees earlier today because it's like, I feel like everybody right now is just
Mhm.
kind of for Botox, 'cause it does give like that like
Mhm.
instant gratification. But then like to your point, it
Mhm.
seems like you just like need more and more every time, or like maybe it just like doesn't last as long. So yeah, people are definitely seeking out more holistic modalities like Gua Sha for getting Botox like results. And so it's funny because Botox and Gua Sha do two separate, completely different things. Botox basically freezes a muscle and it can cause it to atrophy. So it can make it get even weaker because it's like you're not using it. It's just like if you're sitting on your butt all day, like you're going to have a flat butt. But like if you're going to the gym and like you're doing your squats and stuff, you'll have a bigger butt. So it's kind of like the same thing, like with Gua Sha, when you're doing Gua Sha regularly, that's really toning and activating the muscles, and that's creating like a natural lifting effect with that activation of the muscles. And so yes, people are finding that they're able to maybe go longer in between their treatments. Like if they do get Gua Sha, maybe they're like, okay, instead of like getting it quarterly, now I'm just getting it once a year. Or maybe instead of like getting Gua Sha, or sorry, instead of getting Botox all the time, they're just switching over to investing in
Because
their gua sha
when
facials on a
you
regular
do the gua
basis.
sha, say on the forehead lines, you're breaking up that fascia, right?
Yeah, exactly. So there's like a couple things that happen when a wrinkle starts to form. And one of the things that starts to happen is that the fascia underneath, which should be nice and smooth, it begins to sink in where a wrinkle starts to form. So we just go in and we break that up with a gua sha tool so that way it will relax a little bit more. Because sometimes it's the fibers underneath the skin, it's the muscle and the fascia and everything that like will kind of sink into a wrinkle. It's
Mhm.
not just like the skin has
So
wrinkled, it's the
do
layers
you do a lot
underneath.
of people or like series of treatments for this for like people for like a wedding or, special, high school whatever, or special event, and like for people that really want to get, a sculpted look that don't want anything foreign in their body?
Yeah, absolutely. I personally recommend doing gua sha in like a series. I always like to recommend for my clients or like for my students to recommend doing a series of six weekly sessions. So they're coming in every week, maybe same day, same time, and we're just working on the same things over and over. Because again, it's like if you just
Yeah.
go to the gym and you just work out like once a month, it might bit hard to see results. So you need like that consistent or that consistency of just like working out the muscles over and over and over again. And I find that through that repetition, we're really able to start to see results. And so I'll recommend starting with a series of six weekly. And then moving on to maybe then like every 2 weeks, or maybe then just monthly to follow up. We can certainly still achieve results with monthly sessions, but it might just be a little bit slower progress. And I feel like there's also like more variables in doing like a monthly situation because you just never know, like, how a client is like maintaining like healthy lifestyle choices and such the month that can like really affect the results that will render after
And what about for the
facials.
estheticians that are listening that, have an existing, say, you know, whatever, revitalizing facial, European facial, whatever. they can after they master the beginning skills, they can add this into just like a regular facial, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I also go
Mhm.
over this in my workshop, and um,
Okay.
our model just got here. So I go over this in my workshop, just like how to like break up your time during a facial of like, okay, like the first 15 minutes is a cleanse, double cleanse, exfoliation, and then you'll have like about 30 minutes in your facial of like a window of time to do your facial massage, and then also your gua sha, and then maybe the last 15 minutes is for, finishing products and such. And so I do like lay it out in different ways, that you can implement this into your existing facials if you're an esthetician that's already practicing. But I really like to leave it up to the students to do how they like want to integrate it into their facials, because maybe some people are like also doing waxing and facials, or maybe they're doing like lash services as well. So it's just kind of like whatever you feel like works best with your schedule and with like your current facials. But yeah, sometimes people ask like, do I use this as an add-on? Do I have like an upcharge on this or whatever, whatever? And again, like I like to keep things really simple. I just have like a time allotment for each client, and then it's like whatever we get into is what we get into. Because sometimes like people also like don't know like what to pick for themselves. Like maybe they like choose to add on gua sha, but like they like include in their intake form like I just got Botox too. It's like, okay, so maybe gua sha is not going to be a fit, or like maybe we should like postpone our facial like another 2 weeks or so after the
Okay,
Botox has
that's
like really
awesome.
settled in.
So you're gonna do a little demo here on one of your employees, and then afterwards, Mo has another live today, so we'll just take a few questions, and then she's gonna give away a class. But if you guys have questions in the chat, if I can answer them, I'll try and answer them, or Mo, I can verbally ask them, and then
Yeah.
she can answer for you.
Okay, so let me just get my phone set up with a nice like side view. Comment if the view looks okay, if that looks okay for you.
Can you put it
Libby.
a little bit? There's like a lot of space on the top. So can we see more of her
Oh,
neck?
needs.
Yeah, like lower.
Yeah, like
Can you go any lower? Yeah, like that.
oh, lower.
That's good.
Like, oh, okay. Let me try. Let me just, I got it like set up with like a little jar of
Yeah,
face
that's perfect.
cream. There we go. Is that good? Okay, cool. So I'm just going to apply a little bit of oil for some slip and glide. I'm just going to show you guys how we would do gua sha for the neck, because again, this is like, I feel like it's just such a commonly asked question. And so I'm coming from a background of like, lymphatic drainage is my like main goal. So I always like to go down on the neck. So I'm just applying a little bit of oil so that way we have a nice slip and glide. And I'm going to be using this shape gua sha tool, which I feel like is a very common shape that most people have at home. And I'm just going to be going down just like this. So the tool should be at like somewhat of a 15-degree angle. So it's just enough room for my thumb underneath the tool. And I'm just working down. And so if somebody's maybe coming in for their first time and I'm thinking to integrate gua sha into their facial, a lot of times I'll just focus on the neck. I like to consider the neck as the pedestal for the face, essentially, because if you're just focusing on the face and you don't like show any attention to the neck, then sometimes it's hard to render any results, because maybe all of the fluid or lymph or toxicity is just kind of floating and moving around, still stagnant on the face. We have to make sure that we're always opening up the lymph pathways on the neck and chest. so that way all of the fluids from the face can flow down through the neck. So right like that.
Do you count in your head how many times you're doing it, or you just do it by feel?
I just do it by feel. I feel like sometimes like newer estheticians maybe like want to know like, okay, like how many
Yeah.
times do I need to repeat this, you know? So yeah, I mean, if you are a person that likes to count, then maybe like at
Okay.
least 10 times. But yeah, I'm working all the way around the neck. So I'm right here at the SCM, and then I'm also coming all the way back here to, I guess like C1. So I'll come all the way back where the hairline is. And I feel like the headband is always like slipping on and off during a facial. So I'll just be kind of, I think this will be a point where I don't have the headband on and I'll just be working it. And I like to leave one hand on their head just for like a nice added level of security and comfort. And I'll just be going right over the muscles, going scooping down. I'll turn her the other way. I don't know if they can
Not
you
really,
guys
not on that
see or
angle,
not
really.
really?
Mo, when
Good.
you do
Gotcha.
a your gua sha facial, are you doing gua sha the whole entire 90 minutes?
No, I am not doing it for the whole 90 minutes. I'll be doing it for maybe like 20 minutes max. Again, I lay out in my workshop like what's like my ideal like timeline of a whole facial with gua sha. And so yeah, I'll have like 30 minutes of my facial dedicated to the facial massage and the gua sha. And so again, it just depends how I'm doing on timing or what I choose to integrate, um, for how long that I will incorporate this for. So you can see right in here, she's getting like a little bit of redness, a little bit of a flush tone. And so that's great. That just means that there's circulation, there is blood moving and flowing.
Do you do you use them at room temperature, or do you put them in the refrigerator?
I personally like to use them at room temperature. I don't put them in the refrigerator just because I feel like it's a bit much going on for me because I don't have a refrigerator in my room. I know some people will have like
Mm-hmm.
a skincare fridge in their room or access to one. And so I feel like it's just a little bit much. Like during my sessions, I like to have my hands on my person for like 90% of the facial. Like I typically don't leave the room unless I need to like go to the bathroom. So right like that. That's how we'll do it, just going down the neck. And then I'll massage, just kind of pushing and pulling, getting like a nice little stretch on their neck. We'll do something like this to just really hold. So are there any questions coming through or?
Anna Marie wants to know how much pressure you're using.
With the massage tool, or sorry, with the gua sha tool or with the massage?
Anna with the massage tool or with her hands? So with the gua sha or her hands?
I would say on a scale of 1 to 5, like 5 being the deepest pressure, I'm like about like a 3 with the tool.
And then what about with the massage?
Um, with the massage, I'm like a
Do you ask
4.5.
them while you're working
I,
on them how the pressure is, or do you ask them that before?
I'll just check in with them during, and I'll just tell them like at the beginning of our session, like, let me know if it's ever too much pressure for you. But I'm also always like taking cues from their body language as well. So if they maybe are like wincing their eyes, furrowing their brows, or
Mhm.
like they'll like do like this, or they'll like go like this, or like
Mhm.
sometimes people like just tense up. And so I'll just be paying attention to their body language as like cues forever if it's like too much pressure. Because sometimes like people are a little bit like shy to like communicate themselves like that. And so like if I see like, them showing any of those like cues, I'll just be like, how's the pressure? And then 9 times out of 10, they'll be like, okay, yeah,
Right.
like it's a little bit much, and that's just, me paying attention to
There's
them.
another great question from Shrey Ashy 24. She says,
Mhm.
for prominent lines around the mouth, how would you massage with the hands or the tool? So probably the nasal labial folds, I'm assuming she's talking about.
Yeah, so for the nasal labial fold, you can do this little 1-2 step right here. This helps with really ironing out the lines here. With the tool, if you'll just turn a little bit, you can take the smaller side and you can just work right in here. We're going for cross fiber friction with any wrinkles. So if the line is going this way, we want to be going the opposite direction with our tool to really iron out the wrinkle, separate any fascial adhesions, and just to kind of tone and lift the muscle a bit. And so you'll notice with my thumb, I'm holding the skin taut, and with my other hand, I'm using the tool just focused on this little area. So I can use the side, right, like this, or I can use the point of it,
It's
like
so
this.
relaxing, even just to watch. Does anyone else feel that way? And Mo, are you using any oil or just the natural oils on her face?
I'll use just a tad
Uh-huh.
bit of oil on her skin, and then um, I'll just work with the tool. I find that if you use too much oil, it can be a little bit too slippery. And then that's how like people will do gua sha in like 5 minutes. Like if you're going over it in 5 minutes, then you're going way too fast. So with just using like a conservative amount of oil, then you're able to really feel into it and go at a slower pace. Like that. And so I'll always work the neck, like I mentioned, but I'll go up the face and then I'll work my way all the way back down.
How does that feel,
Just
model?
like that.
It looks
Mhm.
really
Feels
good.
so good. Hmm.
Yeah, and then like here where the lymph nodes are, I'll maybe like spend some time focusing here, or even just like right around the ears. There's so much lymph
So
going
Mo,
on
for your
over
class
here.
on April 23rd, is that one model with one protocol that you're focusing on?
Yeah, so here I'll grab the phone. Thank you, Adriana. I think, yeah, okay, we're good. Thank you. So for our class on April 23rd, I'm going to be demonstrating on one model, and I'll be showing different techniques and approaches with different tools, but the
Okay.
same general layout
And
overall, uh, and how to different faces, different shaped faces, different
and then
wrinkles,
the
all
students
that.
get playback for 2 weeks. Is that what it is?
So people are able to then access the playback in the student portal on my website, and that is available until the end of the calendar year. Just so that way people feel like they can really review the material at their own pace. There's no pressure of it expiring in a short amount of time. But yeah, so I have a student portal on my website for students after the workshop where they can then access all of the documents, like the presentation, also the protocol, and so on. And then also be able to rewatch the videos and all of that. And then also I do give everybody who attends a certificate as well. I do recommend signing up for the live because even if you're not able to make it to the live recording, you'll still get that playback. And then you'll also get the certificate as well. If you just purchase the playback after the class has happened, then you're not able to get the certificate. So that's what I recommend for everybody. I do ask for 24 hours after the live to upload everything into the student portal. Sometimes, you know, an hour after or something, people are messaging me like, oh, like I just missed it, you know, like where is it, you know, and I'm just like, okay, like it just takes a little bit of time because we also like, we timestamp all of the videos and everything. That way, like it's super convenient and easy for you guys to just like skip through to the parts that you want to watch, or if you want to watch the whole thing over again. And then also it just takes some time for these certificates as well. Um, so yeah, that's a little bit
And
about what's included for students.
someone asked, how do you sanitize the stone without damaging it?
Yeah, so I'll just use soap and water, and then
Mhm.
I'll dip it in the barbicide for maybe like 10 minutes or so. It really depends like on what type of stone you're using. Most of the time, like rose quartz will be totally fine to just be, you know, in the barbicide for a little bit. It's kind of this gray area because state board doesn't necessarily have like an outline for like what's like the sanitary like procedure or protocol for, you know, tools like this. But that's like the basic rule of thumb with any tool, right? Like with your extractor or something, you'll wash it with soap and water and then you'll put it in your barbicide. So I just treat it in the same way with using my gua sha
And
tools.
so your class is $145 for people that are interested. There's a link in my bio if you guys want to buy it. And then Mo, you're going to give away a class, right?
Yes, yeah. Away a class for our audience here today. Um, I guess I'll just ask a question. And whoever answers it first will win the class. Please only comment if you haven't signed up already. This is only if you know you want a spot in the class and you are also a professional. So I guess for my question, I'll ask what degree of an angle do you use the gua sha tool? First person to answer wins a spot in my workshop on April 23rd. Let me know in the comments. I said it earlier. There we go. Thank you, Hot Focus. 15 degrees. You win a class, please. Oh, now everybody's answers are coming through. I felt like there was like a moment of silence or something. But so go ahead and message me and I will get you set up with your spot in the class. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, use code Libby Secrets for $20 off. It's $145 with your discount Libby Secrets. You get the class for $125. And again, it's a 2-hour workshop. You get the replay within 24 hours afterwards. You get a certificate. You get protocols, PDFs, the presentation, everything to print out and review all of the material at
And
your
you
own
get
pace.
Q&A with you, so other specific questions, and you'll go really deep into how you do this treatment and how people can add it properly too.
Yeah, exactly.
I know
So
you have another live with
everything.
Maria in another group. So if you guys want to see more from Mo today, right, Mo? You're doing a demo in Maria's group today too, right?
Yeah, Maria's group is called the Money Making Esthetician. It's a Facebook group. Libby's group is Secrets of Estheticians, in case you're new hopping on this live. Yeah, I'm doing another live with her, so you can hurry up and join the Facebook group at and we're going to be going over some of the same materials, and we're going to be doing a brief demo, a little preview.
So,
But
also for if
yeah.
people are interested, just you really quickly, do you want to tell them about your in-person class? You only have one in-person class this year in the fall.
Yeah, yeah. So I have one in-person class. It is in the fall, September 22nd and September 23rd. It's all day. I believe it's 11 to 7, and we are going to be going over all of the techniques that I have outlined online in my online workshops. And then we're also going to be going over intraoral massage techniques. And I only have a limited number of spots available for this class because I want to make sure that I give everybody enough like detailed attention. So there's only 9 spots, and I do have one spot available for a scholarship. And I will like release more details on that as it approaches a little bit closer. But that is happening this fall. And it's the only time I'll be teaching my intraoral techniques. A lot of people ask if I'll teach my intraoral techniques online. And I personally, like, I just get this question all the time. And like, I personally can't teach it in good faith online because it is such an advanced technique. It's very nuanced, and it does require just like, receiving and also watching in person and feeling it to really understand the whole technique, and for me to be able to like properly teach it as well. So yeah, that's why I'll be teaching it only in person, not online, and
Is
that's
that a
happening later
two-day
this
class
year
or
in
one day?
September.
Okay.
It's a 2-day class, and then it's here in San Diego,
All
California.
right. Well, thank you so much. I know you have another live, so hope that goes well for you, and we will be talking with you soon. Okay.
Thanks.
You're
Thanks
welcome.
so
Bye.
much
Oh, wait.
for having me.
Hold for
Bye.
a photo.
Oh,
All right. Bye, guys. Have a great day. Okay. Bye.
bye.